1, 2, 3.
Today is a momentous day. We are leaving the world of expressions and you are actually entering the world of equations. Now when we're talking about equations, we're adding that equal sign in. But when we look at this, the way you think of this, it's like a balance. And this expression on this side of the equal sign has to equal this expression on this side of the equal sign. At no time are we allowed to be out of balance. And that's really what the focus is once we go to equations. The equal sign doesn't tell us it's a calculation. It simply means this expression and this expression balance each other out. So when we first look at our equations, first they're going to ask you to substitute in a known value for the variable into the equation and see if it actually works. So if I put negative 52 in for v, I divide it by negative 4, I know a negative divided by a negative is a positive. 52 divided by 4 is 13. Therefore, yes, that works. At no time were we out of balance. The second type of equation they're going to ask you to do is do mental math. Now again, remember, this side equals 49, therefore this side has to equal 49. And all they're asking you to do is what value for d would we put in that would make sure that this side is equal to this side? Well, we know that this has got to be multiplication because I don't see any sign in between. So 7 times what is going to equal 49? It has to be 7. So that's the whole concept of an equation. It's that it's constantly balanced out. Now the most difficult part that you're going to have today is actually changing word phrases into equations. And the biggest thing that we have to remember is number 1, the word is our equal sign. So whenever I see in a phrase the word is, I simply bring down the equal sign, put it right underneath. So the key for us is we also have to know what the operations are. So you need to refer back to the notes because there are some key words that we look for. If the operation is going to be addition, look for the words like plus, the sum of, increase by, total, more than, added to. Any of those words will tell us it's got to be addition. For subtraction, we're looking at minus, difference, decrease by, fewer than, less than, subtracted from. Multiplication, times, product of or multiplied by, division, divided by, divided into, quotient of. These will cover most of the phrases that they could use to indicate your operation. So when I go to change a word phrase into an equation, I start off first looking for my balance point, which is that is sign. Because once I have my is sign, that's my equal sign, I know this has to be an expression and this has to be an expression, and I know those two expressions have to equal each other. So my second part is I look for whatever's the easiest expression to get. So when I read the difference of 11 and y is negative 9, I know is my equal, there's my balance point. So I'm going to look on both sides to see what's easiest. Well, I see negative 9, and that's all there is to that expression. I can fill that in. So now I have one side of my equation finished. Now I've got to get the other side, and it has to balance with negative 9. So now I'm going to look for my operation word, and I see the difference of, well, right here, that tells me my operation. And I know from my word list, difference has to mean subtraction. So now, in subtraction, the order matters. And usually when I do these word phrases, all I'm looking for is to keep the order the same as it's presented. So when I see the difference of 11 and y, I keep it exactly in that order. Therefore, this word phrase is 11 minus y equals negative 9. If we look here, the sum of 41 and w is 26. Again, I'm looking for that equal sign. I see it right here with is. I see which side is the easiest. I see 26. Now this side, I'm going to look for my operation. I see the sum of, and I know sum means addition. Now I'm going to keep the order the same, 41 and w. So my equation becomes 41 plus w equals 26. The quotient of r and 6 is negative 4. Again, is my equal sign. Negative 4, easiest one to pull out first. Now I look for the expression on the other side. quotient, I'm going to use the fraction bar for division. You could have also used the division sign. I'm going to keep the order the same because division, it matters. I could do r divided by 6, or let's just move this over. I could do r divided by 6. Either one of those would work for my equation. And then the final one, the product of 18 and p is 54. Again, is 54. Now I look for my operation, product. It's got to be multiplication, and I'm not going to use a multiplication sign because we just never do. I'm going to keep the order the same, 18 and p. Therefore, 18p equals 54. But because this is my coefficient, I would just write 18p equals 54. If I guess for today, I think these changing word phrases into equations will probably be the hardest thing for you. The rest of it is really relatively easy. I've worked all the problems, so make sure you're checking my work as you go along if you're having any problems with it. I don't think you're going to have any problems with it. It should seem a lot easier than what yesterday's lesson was. So good luck with that. I know you'll do well, and I'll answer any of your questions when I get back.